Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to another video. This time, we're going to be going through my run and gun hybrid A7IV. That's a Sony camera setting. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. That's right, everybody. Today we're going to be going through my A7IV camera settings. We're going to go through all the menus, see how I've got my camera set up, and it's right over here connected. So we've got the video out, so I'm going to record the camera screen so you can see exactly how I have my camera set up. So without further ado, let's get into the camera settings. Okay, so I'm going to put my face smaller, put the screen up on there, and let's get to it. And we have the main screen. That's purely because the lens cap is on, so you can see better. That's what the main screen looks like, and we are currently in video mode. So we're going to go with video mode first because I mainly use this camera at the moment for video work. So on the mode dial, we are on video and we are on option number 1. And on option number 1, or setting, memory settings number 1, we are recording at 30p at 4K at 1/60th with the aperture set at 2.8, and that's the smallest my aperture will go because I'm using the 16 to 35 G master. We have got the exposure compensation set to 1.7 and ISO is automatic. If we go on the mode dial to number 2, that has changed to 60p with a shutter speed of 1/125th, still recording in 4:2 10-bit as we were before. And then for menu setting number 3, we have got 120p. However, we're doing this in HD 1080 and unfortunately 4208-bit and shutter speed 1/250th of a second. Now let's go into the other bits and pieces. So we go back into mode dial number 1. We'll go into the function menu and have a look at that, what we have. So first of all, we have our levels, our focus mode, focus area, picture profile, which I'll go on a little bit later in the video, zebra displays, zebra levels, peaking level, white balance, steady shot, focus mapping, and space eye subject detect. Currently my levels are set at 26. Your levels may vary depending whether you're using your internal microphone or depending on what type of external microphone you use. I'm using the Rode Video Mic Pro and my lens cap has just fallen off. I'm using continuous autofocus. Sony, in my opinion, has the best autofocus there currently is, and I'm using the focus area as wide. Picture profile. Now, this has been an ongoing debate of mine of which profile picture do I use. And you know what? I change my picture profiles depending on what I'm shooting. But something I've recently liked shooting is not this one here because that's set and saved in the settings, but it's very similar. I've got picture profile 1 as S-Log3, and normally if I'm doing some proper work or some client work, I will shoot in as Gamut 3 Cine. However, for my normal day-to-day videos, I record, let me go down, in S-Cinetone. I changed nothing else. The profile is as standard, and we've got S-Log3 with Cinetone in the color mode. Apart from that, everything is as is. The only thing, detail is set at 0, and I put some extra sharpening in post. And from the picture profiles, I pretty much either use S-Log3 with S-Gamut 3 Cine or S-Log3 with Aciditone, again like I said, depending on what I'm filming. With the zebra display, I got my zebra set to either 70 because of the skin tone, so I'll get the zebras on my face, or I will use a custom level with the lower limit. Whoops, it's gone. With, where is it? Here we go. With the lower limit set to 94 and then expose for that as the brightest part of the image. But normally 70 for skin tones. For me, with vlogs, run and gun, I want my face to be exposed the best. Peaking I don't normally use currently, and with the white balance, most of the time, or 99.9% of the time, I will go with auto white balance, and it does a pretty good job, and for me it does what it needs to do. With steady shot always on active, yes, I know it crops in a little bit, but that little bit of cropping for me makes no difference. If I am vlogging when I'm holding a 16mm lens, it's still plenty to get myself into the picture. And then obviously if I need to quickly change whether I'm taking photos or videos of people, animals, my little dog which you can hear running around and barking in the background, and birds I've never used. So that's how I have my function menu set up. Going into the main settings, for my quick menu, I don't really have much. I have formatting, so either formatting slot A or slot B. I have APS-C shooting, so if I just want to get in even closer with a lens I don't have on me. My record levels, if I'm changing microphones, and my marker display, so I know how the framing is. And that's it for my quick menu. So we are in settings 1, just go through the camera settings. So we are recording XAVC S4K, and the movie settings, like I said, 30p, 140 megabits, 422 10-bit. And I'll tell you something, if anyone's ever told you that there's a big difference between 8-bit, 10-bit, 420 and 422 when it comes to color correcting, color grading, and making sure the image is what you want, then they are absolutely right. And I can guarantee you that there's a huge difference when editing in post. S&Q settings, I don't really use that much, but I have them set up. I'll go back again and just if you want to have a look at them. And all the other settings apart from the shutter speed and the frame rate are exactly the same in settings 2 and in 3. If we now switch on to camera mode, I shoot RAW with JPEG at the highest level, and let's have a look. We have 3 options as well, so setting 1, 2, 3. Now these are kind of my favorite quick settings. Yours may differ depending on what you want to photograph, but on setting number 1 in the photography option, I have set at f2.8 and 1/400th of a second shutter speed. In number 2, more of a landscapey setting, 1/60th, 1/30th on a tripod with f16 as the quick setting. So if I want to go from a portrait to a quick landscape shot, then I can just go from 1 to 2 and pretty much I'm almost dialed in. I might have to change it a little bit depending on if I have a tripod or not, and depending on how much of the focal plane I want to capture. And option 3, again we'll go to 1/250th of a second and back to f2.8. I'm thinking of maybe changing that to something like f22 to go extreme, or to go somewhere like f11 for those. However, one thing you will also notice on option number 3 is this is my solution for those quick moments that I need to capture, and we have set this for high plus mode for shooting. So with this one I go, you know, that magical sound that everybody loves. So that is my high shooting mode, f2.8, Again, I'll play around with it when I need to, but 250 of the second at f2.8 just to get those quick shots, or to make sure in a fast moving scenario I get the shot I need. Now for some of the other settings, let's go through them. So if we go back to the menus and we kind of just go one by one, and let's start off with the photography menu. So JPEG, RAW, and then 33 megapixel. And I'm so happy they put a 33 megapixel sensor in this camera for the JPEGs. Aspect ratio 3:2. Video recording format is HD. Movie settings I'm going to go into. High ISO, noise reduction at normal, color space sRGB, lens compensation all set to automatic. We're not going to go through these. I've got some copyright info, so it's kind of burnt into the photo. Memory recall settings, I'm hoping you know how to do that, so when you have my settings you can put them into your camera and save them. And then the rest I don't really go through much. Mechanical shutter, these ones, release without lens, release without card, enable. You may want to disable these. It's a bit of a security feature, what I call. And steady shot auto on here. If I just quickly flick onto the video mode and go through the menu again, we have, like I said, 4K XAVC, 30p, and if you haven't checked out why I use 30p, I've done a video beforehand, 24p versus 30p, so go check that one out and put down in the comments what kind of frame rates, bits and color depth you use for recording your videos. Going back, S&Q, like I said, I'll show you again. I've got this set for 60 frames per second. Again, it's 8-bit only. Proxies I never use. My MacBook Pro can very comfortably handle the footage I'm recording. And carrying on, it's pretty much set as normal. So that would be that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for how I have my camera set up. If you have another way or some hints of how to adjust it for hybrid shooting, again, put it down in the comments below, and I'll catch you all in the next one, buddy. Goodbye for now.